let's just start her up. Why not?
I'm a little stoned, Mike, and I like to break traditions and start early to sort of reset and recalibrate stereotypes. If you're a person, sir. It's just a virtual comedy show starring a super funny guy with funny new comedians from around the world who are watching live. Would you please all welcome Mr. Mike Langworthy?
Oh, look at that, man. That's outstanding.
Isn't that fun?
That's brand new tonight, by the way. I'm not saying I don't deserve it, but I don't deserve it. Welcome, everybody. I'm glad you're here. I don't know where everybody's from. I know very well where Gerry's from. We're looking forward to having a really good show tonight. I believe someone's opening a bag of chips at the moment.
That was me adjusting my camera. Sorry.
Okay, no problem, man. All right, so anyway, we got a good show lined up tonight. Some of these people I know real well. Some of these people I just met tonight. And some of the people that I just met tonight, I think I know a great deal about already. I feel disposed to say a lot of things about the comedy business because I get a lot of shit from people that I just don't want to deal with. Essentially, people, I say I'm a comedian and people say, oh, really? Have I seen you in anything? How in the fuck am I supposed to know if you've seen me in anything? What am I, a mind reader? I didn't say I was a psychic. I said I was a comic. And, and then you also hear this, oh, you're a comic? Have you done anything? Yes, you're right. Like most comics, I've been a furniture maker my whole life. It's like, I'm a comedian, for Christ's sake. I tell jokes. That's what I do. These don't seem to be really difficult, questions to answer. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, have I seen you in anything? Have I seen you in anything? I don't know. Do you watch comedy? So anyway, all I'm saying is I'm a grumpy old man. Let's face it,
Yeah.
When I do a set and I say, how much time do I have? I don't mean in the set, I mean on the planet. And I'm trying, and I'm not happy about it. And I'm also not happy about the fact that the comedians of today's generation, and yes, I am an old man shouting at a cloud right now. But here's the thing. I'm sorry, but here's the thing. I just can't, I can't understand why the comedians of today are so unsupportive. That's all I'm saying. Because I know I'm old. I already knew I was old before you said anything, young comic, So I hear from these young comics like, hey, what was it like writing your first set list on a cave wall in the south of France? Ha 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 ha. To be honest with you, it was hard. I'll tell you. You had a piece. If you used flint, you might have started a fire in the cave. Nobody thinks about that. Nobody thinks about what I had to go through coming up. Oh, Mike, geez, that's a great joke. What was it like making Jeb Stuart laugh during the Civil War? Come on, man. First of all, we were on the other side. My family was on the other side of that conflict. All right. My family came here in 1638. The first Langworthys came to what is now the United States in 1638. Not a single one of us has gotten rich in 400 years. I don't understand it. There was at least 200 years where all you had to do was find an Indian with something of value, kill him, and you were home free. And nobody was going to say anything. That's how we did it. That's what we took the continent from the people who lived here. And not my people. No. Everybody wants to live and be. It's the Indians really own the country. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I'm a bitter old man, and I try to be supportive of the other comics, but I'm not crazy about the people going, "Oh, Ray, you're old." Like I didn't know that I was old already. I'm sorry, I got a little hot with you. I apologize. It's been a rough pandemic for me. I'll be honest with you. I haven't gotten sick. My family hasn't gotten sick, but you know, really, really inconvenient. I like performing in front of a live audience. I'm crazy that way. All right. So anyway, that's me just spouting off for a minute, just to let you know, nothing's really off limits except going longer than your time. And I want to bring up our first act of the evening. And I'm sure you've all been checking your chat to see who the first act of the evening is. But it's going to be a surprise for everybody. Yay! All right. Anyway, that's another problem with being old is you're just kind of senile and you sort of. Anyway, let's not get into that. Or did I already say that? All right. See what I mean? See, it's like being senile, and I just repeated the thing that I did before. Sharp as a tack for a man of my age, I'll tell you. Anyway, let's not get into that either. Our first performer is going to be someone who I just met tonight, and I'm very pleased to, and I know that you're going to like him. Why do I know that? I have no reason to believe otherwise. Please welcome, and look at them, they're all on tenterhooks, wondering who it's going to be. All right, anyway, here's our first act is going to be Curt Seablom, ladies and gentlemen. Tell us where you're from, by the way.
I'm from Central Valley, California.
Woo!
Man, thank you so much for having me here. You know, one of the things I've come to realize about myself is that I'm not very masculine. I realized that because of my hobbies. You see, I really love embroidery. Okay, really do. I also don't drink. I don't drink alcohol. I just drink tea. I love antiques. I love kids. I was prior military, so I'm basically an amalgamation of everyone from Downton Abbey. I got that. But I really do love embroidery, and you know, I started teaching my kids because my mother taught me when I was little, and they started getting pretty good. So I got some patterns right from the store. It's like, we'll get some old shirts and we'll put some patterns on them. And I got a little woodland pattern book, right? So the girls could do little flowers and fairies. And I put a mushroom on my shirt because at least it's sort of masculine, you know? I mean, it looked like that to me. Well, anyways, I was really proud of it, you know, and I was going to go on a first date with a woman. I met her online and I told her with pride, yeah, I just finished embroidering my mushroom shirt. And she said, there's no way in hell you're going to wear that stupid shirt on our first date. So I wore a nice buttoned up shirt, you know, but under it, I had my mushroom shirt because that's the kind of beta male I am. Yeah. Tell me what to do. But you know, embroidery really isn't that feminine. It's actually kind of masculine. You guys in the 80s, you guys remember Rambo? First Blood?
Yeah, sure.
You got what happened when we got that big gash on his arm? How did he fix it? Embroidery. That's right. That's right. He had an embroidery needle in his survival knife. So there you go. He's not feminine, and I don't even use thimbles when I embroider. That's the kind of stud I am. I've been in IT. You know, I work in IT for 20 years. These babies are calloused. So, I met the woman at the tea shop. I love tea. And you know, and I am a little pretentious about tea. Like, I don't like bagged tea. You know, I like it's got to be loose leaf, you know, or free range, as I call it. Yeah. That's how liberal I am. Free tea, you know. But I was trying to decide how am I going to tell this date. You know, how was I going to tell her that I'm very sentimental, because I don't want to be in the movie theater and then the trailer comes on for something like When a Monster Calls, and she looks over and I'm gushing like a little girl. It's like I got to let her know ahead of time. I don't want to surprise her with this. So I was like, you know what? Before my second cup of tea, I will tell her that I'm sentimental. When I told myself that, I said I probably didn't need to tell her I'm sentimental, and I probably don't have to ask for a second date because that's pretty weird. But anyway, so I didn't tell her. But she'd find out herself. If she ever watched Modern Family with me, she'd know. You know, gets me right in the feel box. You know, but the other thing, you know, I really love antique shopping too. You know, like to me, it's so cool. You know, all those things have history, right? Like a coffee table in there might, you know, that might have sat, you know, in the living room watching the civil rights struggle on TV in the 60s. Right? Wouldn't you like something like that? Or do you want like a coffee table from IKEA that saw you struggle with an Allen wrench for an hour? You know? And I love antiques. I mean, everything in there, it's just all old stuff. Unless you're an old person, then it's just your stuff. Anyways, thank you so much, Colorado. You guys are awesome. Take care. I'm Curt Seablom.
All right.
Thank you, Curt.
Yeah.
All right, Curt.
Curt, that was good, man. It's good to see a guy who's willing to be vulnerable in that way.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Just to tell a joke about that, I liked all that same stuff. You know, I thought Judy Garland was a genius. You know, I love romantic comedies and stuff. And if I could, I'd be gay if there was just men just don't appeal to me. In every other way, I am that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, who cares? Who cares, man?
Yeah.
Who cares? Our next performer from Ottawa, Canada. We've got people from.
Me.
Yes, it is you. We've got people.
Okay.
From, yeah, I was in the. I put you in the chat. Let you know in the chat.
Yeah.
Anyway, our next guy, he's from Ottawa, Canada. Very vocal during the pre-up to the show, and anyway, I will let you know that he's going to be performing for you right now, and apparently part of his act is to fool around with a mask.
Yes.
Please welcome
Yeah.
Gerry Hodges.
Yeah. 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 Thank you very much. Michael, thank you very much.
You're
Good
welcome.
luck for Michael, our host.
Yeah.
He's hosting the show. Seriously. Even though he looks like he should be shot in the first scene of Back to the Future. Thank you for that joke. You know what? No, I'm not doing this. I'm in my own apartment, so I don't have to do this. So I assume that everyone here, even though like it's Denver, right? You're all football fans, right? I'm a hockey fan myself, but I'm also a football fan too. So the Washington Redskins don't exist anymore because of political correctness, because apparently Redskins are racist and degrading. But this isn't the first time something like this has happened for a sports team, right? There was a team called the Washington Bullets in the NBA. But because of their name that happens to be negative and violent, they were forced to change their name. So now the team is known as the Washington Wizards. Really? Yeah. Okay. So Redskins are racist and degrading. Bullets are negative and violent. But it's okay to take a professional basketball team full of predominantly black people and name them after the leader of the KKK. Is that? Yeah. What are we going to keep doing? Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the field, the Washington White Nationalists. Let's keep that going. Right? No, let's keep going. Let's name that hockey team down south the Florida Black Panthers while you're at it. Let's keep that going. They're not going to be any better better, but they're going to be easier to see on the ice. So I'm living in Ottawa. I'm Canadian myself. You can't tell because I'm sober. No, fuck that. I'm half drunk as fucking hell. Anyway, I'm a huge hockey fan. So when you think of it, hockey, I'm originally from Nova Scotia. Hockey in Nova Scotia. Who's the first person you think of? Anyone?
Hockey in Nova Scotia?
Yeah. He's a player playing today. Anybody?
PK Subban.
No, he's Jamaican. I was thinking more along the lines of Sidney Crosby.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, because the reason I bring that up is because I myself grew up in the same town Sidney Crosby grew up. Yeah, because I figured, Denver, Colorado, Avalanche. You took Quebec from us. Yeah. Your first Stanley Cup came from us. You're welcome. Anyway, here's the joke that I have about Sidney Crosby. I'd like to do my Sidney Crosby impression, but I'm not in the mood to whine like a little bitch. But here's the thing. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always been a fan of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And I'm a Canadian, but I'm somewhat of a rare breed where I don't cheer for a Canadian team in hockey, right? Because I'm hearing a lot of it in my life where it's like, you're a bitch. You're a traitor to your country. Your team's named after a flightless bird. Okay. That last part is true. But the Pittsburgh Penguins, to me, are the most badass team in the NHL. The Pittsburgh Penguins are the only hockey team named after a Batman villain. Yeah. There's no team named after the Riddler, the Scarecrow, Harley Quinn, Bane, and we don't need a team named after the Joker. Yeah, they're already called the Montreal Canadiens. Yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't know if there was a lag or whatever there was there. Wow. Okay, Mike, how much more time do I have? I want to try one more joke before
45 seconds.
45 seconds. Okay.
Don't you go a second over, man.
Okay. My advice for the younger guys here, if you're between 18 and maybe 26, date an older woman. My birthday's on Friday, by the way. Date an older woman because they will give you everything you need in your life. I remember when I was a lot younger, there was a woman that took me to her place, took me on the covers and teach me a whole bunch of things, Yeah. RSPs, GICs, retirement savings, I got to finish that part of the joke because I'm getting a boner thinking about retirement. But one piece of advice I got was, and this is my last joke. Please don't kill me for time. But I got this question from someone who was younger than me. He's like, how much is too old for dating an older woman? I think too old is when you wake up the next morning and you see them knitting. And then you see them, and then you roll over, you see a glass full of teeth. That night I thought to myself, that blowjob last night was exceptionally smooth. I'm thinking to myself, I'm getting the hell out of here before Coronation Street starts. That's me, Michael. Sorry for going over to my time.
You didn't go over time. Yeah. You didn't go over time, and you said you wanted to plug your show. So plug your show.
Yes, I'm going to plug my show. It's called No Lines to Cross Comedy. There's a group on Facebook, No Lines to Cross Comedy. I just had a birthday show yesterday because, I'm kind of a borderline narcissist. Anyway, every Sunday, we have the show going on. It's on Facebook. Why is this guy, James, looking like Kurt Cobain?
Yes, I did have a gun.
All right. At any rate, thank you for plugging your show. And if anybody's interested, now you know where to go.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks a lot, Gerry. Big hand for Gerry.
Yeah.
Rock and roll, son.
I believe that our next performer is all ready to go. I'm not going to say anything except you're going to be interested. Please welcome Ed Smyth.
Whoa, well, howdy, boys and girls. Welcome again to the Bronco Brand Dang Tootin' Good Time Show. I'm sure glad to be here with my good old Coyote Natty Pine. Say hello, Natty Pine. Yes, okay. Hey, Natty Pine, what's 1 + 2? Yeah, Natty Pine, yeah. Hey, Natty Pine, can you name a major allegory in Moby Dick? Well, that's too bad, Natty Pine. Here you go. I got Moby Dick here for you. Go read it up in this store while we start our show. Okay, Natty Pine, there you go. Well, boys and girls, I'm so glad to be here with all you nice boys and girls. Let's get going with the show, okay? Well, now you remember last week we mentioned about the Bronco Brad Bitcoin Savings Program. Hey, Wally, the happy talking neutrino, want to help me out? Oh, sure, Bronco Brad, I'd love to. Okay, great. Hey, boys and girls, remember the Bronco Brad Bitcoin Savings Program. Save up those Bitcoins and you can get a whole bunch of nice prizes here. Look at all these different levels. Well, Bronco Brad, yes, indeed. Look, you save up $1 and you become the cow patty level. Save up $2 and become Donkey Doug. Save up $5 and become the snake spit level. Yes, indeed. How about $10 and you become the pony PP? Yes, and then the $20 become the rodeo clown. Woo, that's right. And then save up that $1 million in Bitcoin and you can be a genuine Bronco Brad cow puncher. Well, Bronco Brad, I'm going to start saving right now. Yes, indeed, boys and girls. Okay. Well, save up those Bitcoins. We'll talk with you again next week. Well, now it's time for our drawing corner of the night. Yes, indeed. Now it's Halloween. So in our drawing corner, we're going to do something special. Grab your pen and your paper and Mr. Cameraman, move over here. Yes, thank you, buddy. We're going to draw. I'll show you how to draw a giant atomic mutant ant. Oh boy, let's see here. First of all, you got to draw 3 circles. Big circle for the abdomen and a big circle there for the thorax and then a big old circle there for the head. Okay, now draw those 3 legs on one side. There you go. There's 3 on the other, but you can't see them. Now you got to draw those big old bug guys. So draw those big old bug eyes there, one big eye there, yeah. And then another big eye bug over there, yeah. Now, of course, it's a giant mutant atomic ant, so it's got giant man-crushing mandibles. So you've got to draw those in as well. Here you go, draw those mandibles in. Yes, indeed. There they are. Woo-wee, don't they look vicious? Now, it's a man-eating atomic mutant ant, so we're going to have put a man there. So draw your man, put a little circle there for his head, and then his body's there, yep. And then draw some little legs and little arms. Now, because he's man, being eaten, he's going to be crying out. So make sure you write out in big letters, Mama. Yes, indeed. There you go. Now, you can put that on your refrigerator and show your mom and dad. Well, Mr. Cameraman, swing around here. There you go. Thank you, buddy. Okay. Well, now, I got a great new song for you boys and girls. Yes, indeed. You know, I love when you boys and girls write in and ask for your own pair of Bronco Brad wooden clackers. Yes, indeed, the finest musical instrument you can find out on the prairie. Well, this one here is a song about those wooden clackers and about a special little lady who made them for me. Yes, indeed, I want to clickety-clack into a heart. Well, I'm in love with a woman carpenter. She's the heartwood of my dreams. Her love is like load-bearing walls. Her hugs like supporting beams. I want to say she's ducky, 'cause she makes me go quackers. So I'm gonna clickety-clack my love to her with my wooden clackers. Baby, don't be a ripsaw and tear us apart. Don't plunge a hole into my chest like throwing a lawn dart. You're my loving carbohydrate like a breakfast Pop-Tart. So I'm gonna take my wooden clackers and clickety-clack into your heart. Well, wasn't that fun, boys and girls? Yes, indeed. Well, I sure do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Well, it's time for me to go. Stick around for a lot of fun and funny people here at the open mic show. Until next time, boys and girls. Well, we've hung up our saddles and laid down our tools. The night stars are out burning their nuclear fuels. It's time to change the oil and go wash our hair. So good night, you cow folks out there. Good night, cow folks.
Bronco Brad, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! I mean, you know, the first time I saw Gilbert Gottfried, I said to myself, I don't know if this is great, but I've never seen anything like it before. It's been a long time since then, and it's been a rare occasion when I've had the exact same reaction. But
No.
except this time I'm more experienced, so I know it's good. And I know I haven't seen it anywhere else before. So Bronco Brad, Ed Smyth, everybody that you've been, Og, son of Og, lawyer, all of the things that you do, unbelievable. I feel privileged just to be on the same show with you. Not as privileged as you feel to be on the same show with me, but it's, you know,
Oh!
we can all feel privileges, is what I'm saying. Everybody can feel privileged in his own way.
We do. We do.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Our next performer, if I can remember where it is. Oh, it's Paula. Great. I managed to demonstrate my my aging and loss of memory. You know, I can remember things that happened 30 years ago, but I don't remember what I had for breakfast. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I don't remember who told that joke first, but I'm pretty sure I read it off a cave wall when I was designing my first set. Anyway, our next performer is Paula Mattocks. Please give her a big round of applause.
Woo, Paula.
Looking forward to meeting her.
Well, I want to give it up for our host. I appreciate you very much, Michael and Chuck. I see you back there, Chuck. Doing your thing. Thank you.
Woo.
Woo. Yeah. In pandemic times, I'm realizing how important comedy is, and having Zoom open mics is the best fucking side effect to a fucking international pandemic I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, because pandemics are stressful. I don't know about you guys, but well, let me start back a little bit. They never put pregnancy on the list of STDs. So
Oh!
I got caught in a parent trap. But I never caught no STDs. You know what I mean? Like, that's something to be proud of. Oh my God. You know, I don't think STDs talk back as much as my kids do. You know, when you think about it, like, they really should be on that list. They last longer than the STDs do. Oh, my phone's about to die, because that's the kind of day I'm having. See, I never leave my hood, you guys. I don't. And the hood never leaves me. Especially in this fucking pandemic, man. These kids are never fucking leaving. I treat them too good. That's the problem. I've also found in pandemic times that the more stressed I get, the funnier I get. Not to sound cocky or disingenuous, but man, when the trauma's laying on thick, I fucking, oh God, it's crazy. Because I know you can't tell by looking at me, but I'm a teacher now because of pandemic time. Yeah, and I think the reason no one can tell that is because trauma is too easy to hide. You know?
Yeah.
Too fucking hard. Because people should fucking know. Like today, I had to turn in my daughter's homework to her real teacher, and the bitch didn't even say thank you. I'm like, do you know how hard it was to get these fucking papers done? Like, do you have any fucking clue? I'm not trained like you. I'm not. So dumb. And I know kids come dumb, you know, because they come from dumb cum, but there are boundaries. There are boundaries to the trauma a person must absorb. So, okay, I have to teach these kids. I'm raising my older kids that I gave birth to, and then I'm raising my nieces. They're 11 and 7. I want to say 7 and 11, but they're not that convenient. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm learning them that when the older kids' math was wonky, I didn't give much of a shit because I wasn't teaching them, you know? Teacher's job. But now that I'm the teacher, it's fucking scary because now they do math in a box and you can estimate. That's what she said. Are we estimating that this is fucked up? Because I can tell that right now. So I get my niece to do her homework. It's one page. She has to roll the dice and add it by itself. So if it's an 8, she's got to add it by itself. 16. I finally get the baby to do her work. She's so fucking fussy when she does her homework that I have cameras coming next week because I'm going to shame them with seeing themselves to see if that helps the behavior. You know, because you can't spank them anymore. So kids don't listen for shit. So anyway, she gets this math done and I'm like, thank you, Jesus. More paper to turn in. And she gets them all wrong. And it hits me. Oh my God, she's got a dumb aunt. So bad. So bad. What had happened is the baby multiplied it. She's 7. Who taught the baby how to multiply? You know, because I'm a new teacher. I don't have the fucking number for gate. How do we call gate? Because I got a fucking genius on my hands, man, and I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't. Yeah. So I decided to handle the stress by getting a new addiction. And I can do it in my house. It's these Zoom comedies, man. It's fucking great. Ticks all the fucking boxes. The kids don't like it though. They don't like hearing their dumb shit either. Who knew? You know? Yeah. But I think I'm pretty bad off though, because I'm binge watching a show about addiction, that intervention show. I think that's a bad sign, you know. So I'm gonna go back to my favorite show, that 600-Pound Life, because I'm those bitches go weights. And one last thing before I go, they say when you do much of a drug, it works less. It's not as good. You know, you have to do more and more often. And I think with these Zoom mics, I think I hurt my woofer. Do you guys know what your woofer is? We all have one.
No.
No, you don't know what? Okay, it's that thing inside you when you're about to take a hit or you're gotta hit that and you're like, woo, that's your woofer.
Oh.
Yeah. I think I fucked mine up with all these Zoom comedies, man. I've been around like a fucking bus stop on my hoary stars, man. I'm having such a good time. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate you very much. Back to the hood I go.
Yeah.
Paula Mattocks, with my humble apologies. You were here last week, and I
Yes, sir.
to forget who you were, forget your name in the space of 1 week. I'm worried. I'm telling you, I'm worried.
I'm forgettable. I'm sorry.
No, you're not forgettable. You're not forgettable. This next guy, forgettable. No, I'm kidding. Come on. Stop it. Why don't you guys just stop
You're
it?
a funny
By the
guy.
way- By the way, you get it, Paula. You know from kids, you know? There's this like comedy trope where comics says, you know, comics say, I don't have kids. I have dogs, you know, which is like, in some way there's supposed to be, you know, some kind of equivalency there. That's like saying, you know, I don't have kids, but green is different than 3. They're just unclear on the concept.
And dogs
but
can't
you're
turn
not.
you in.
You know what it's like. And it's, you know, you deserve a lot of credit for taking over your niece's stuff and then finding out the kid is a genius. That's really hard. When you have a genius for a kid, you know, it's really annoying because they're
So
smarter
fucking
than you.
annoying.
They're smarter than you. They know they're smarter than you. If they're really smart, they start playing you, and you can see that they're doing it because you're a little wiser than they are. But you know if they're really smart, and they're taking advantage, and I'm fine with that. My own children,
Oh, nice.
my own children have been that way. Anyway, so be that as it may.
Mike, I'm just wondering what comedian is next.
Are you?
I seem to have forgotten.
Well,
Completely forgettable.
Hold on. I sent a message for the order.
That was gonna be my opener. Damn,
you know
Chuck. Oh.
you know what, you guys?
Run the board then, Jay.
I'm just glad I wasn't first because it would have been a horror movie version.
Yeah, you
You
know
know
what?
how yeah. I'm sorry.
James Longshore is coming to us from Romania, by the way, because I believe he lost his citizenship. I can't remember exactly what happened, but
Oh shit.
something about a vehicular manslaughter, I think, but I'm not sure.
Ah,
Maybe
You
able to tell us
recorded,
a little bit more about
Mike.
that. And I was just
Wow.
trying to smooth the waters a little bit, Chuck. You know, indulge me, allow me to make a smooth transition from one killer act to the next killer act. Would you just allow me to do that, please? Please. Anyway,
Yeah.
so you've forgotten. I don't think James Longshore myself is forgettable, but apparently we disagree about that, Chuck. Anyway, our next performer is, like I said, coming to us from Bucharest, or Bucharest, I don't know how you pronounce it. But please welcome the newly groomed Kurt Cobain-like, the pre-shotgun blast Kurt Cobain, James Longshore, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo!
Yeah.
Hi, Colorado. Woo! Another round of applause for our witty host, Mike Langworthy.
That's right. You
Did
see,
you see
somebody
what he did
gets it.
there?
Somebody gets it.
I saw what you did there, Mike, with the vehicular manslaughter and killer act. That was
Well,
beautiful.
just
Beautiful.
saying, man.
Couldn't have done it better myself. I could have done it as good, but definitely not better.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, I am James Longshore, in case you forgot. Drive that one into the ground. And I'm coming to you from Bucharest. How was everybody's Halloween? Everybody have a good Halloween?
Excellent.
Yeah. Mine was cheap and easy. I just didn't wear a mask, and I went as a COVID denier. Actually, I did. I went with a mask, and I was brave. I went out with a mask, and I got a fine. In Europe, you know, you get a fine if you don't wear a surgical mask, and I was wearing a Batman mask. My friend was wearing a Spider-Man mask, and he totally didn't get a fine. And like discrimination, like that cop was totally a Marvel supremacist. Telling you. I find Halloween really confusing now. Like, I saw a black guy dressed in whiteface, and I'm like, should I be offended? That was the first time with that joke. I maybe it won't be the last after all. Anyway, it really was like the scariest Halloween this year, but not because of COVID, because Coney was confirmed to the Supreme Court. Yes, and somehow Trump, before we kick him out, managed to make the most tremendously terrifying Halloween of my lifetime. And that's my segue into my election recap. Since I'm safe here in Romania, I am going to violate that sort of unspoken Zoom no election joke rules of the past week. Has anybody else sensed this? Like, everybody is avoiding election jokes. But I have so many questions about the election, and now Amy Coney's going to answer them all. Yay! Anyway, so what happened? Let's see. Well, Biden, of course, there was no one coming up from the rear, so he's our Democratic candidate. He actually came up from the rear, his own rear, pulled his head out of his ass, which is surprising for a senator from Delaware. Delaware, of course, is known as the first state. It's called the first state. Do you know why? Because people got there and were like, I can do better than this.
Oh.
Boom.
And Biden was like, everybody must pay their fair share of taxes, says the senator from Delaware, where nobody pays taxes. And also, he at one point said that he doesn't smoke pot, but he has lots of friends who do. So basically, I voted for the guy who gets caught with a bag of weed and is like, I'm holding it for a friend. Trump, of course, got COVID. That was the big October surprise. It wasn't much of a surprise. How am I doing on time, Mike?
You have a minute.
Wow. Okay. Well, let me just wrap it up then. I have one more question. Now, I don't like labels, but I am a liberal. And that's why I got the hell out of there. No. And I get called a libtard sometimes. So I'm just wondering, like, if liberals are libtards, are Republicans retards? We have a few Republicans and a Democrat.
No, you're in great shape, man.
Good. But for any Republicans out there, be careful what you call us, because we're rubber, your glue, bounces off of us, sticks to you.
Amen.
Yeah, that one was.
So guys, I am so happy to spend this election night with you. Thank you very much. If the apocalypse doesn't come this week, tune into Apocalypse on Sunday. I will be performing great Malaysian comedian named Juliana Hang, and of course our sometimes intrepid host, Michael Langworthy. Good night.
Thank you. You're very wise, all of you. So, anyway.
If anyone was, you know what? No, I was laughing at that retard joke because I was called the retard in school. So that's where. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Thanks for the narration.
Good share, Gerry.
That's the way we do things. That's how we roll here, my friend.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got Ottawa, we have Bucharest, we have Central California. We're going to have New York in a little while, a very short time. We were going to have Michigan, but there seems to be a technophobe amongst us. Very good comedian who doesn't understand how the interweb works.
He must be a Lions fan.
Pardon me? It must be a Lions fan.
Yeah.
He's a big Michigan fan, and I went to the University of Michigan, and you know the thing about Michigan is they will disappoint you.
So will the Dallas Cowboys.
Late in the season, it may be early in the season, but they're gonna fuck themselves over every fucking year. So
yeah, like the Dallas Cowboys.
yes, like the Dallas Cowboys.
Right. I'm in Canada, and I'm a Dallas Cowboy. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I do know what you're trying to say, and let me tell you what I'm trying to say. Our next little hunk here is our host, our intrepid producer and great man in his own right, Chuck Roy, is going to grace us with some of his stand-up professional comedy, and I can't wait to see it.
You, Mike. I don't know about professional or standing, as this performance comes to you seated from Englewood, Colorado, where I learned something this week. One of you expressed being a teacher. I am an adjunct faculty at a community college, which means as soon as I get my high school diploma, I'll be a teacher. Something got said in a meeting where I was being wicked smart and everyone else was being wicked dumb. And the phrase emotional intelligence was used a few times as something we all need. And either you're with me right now and you know what an emotional intelligence is, or you're like me during the meeting and you had to Google. So I've learned what emotional intelligence is. Emotional intelligence happens when someone in a relationship says, I need you to be there for me. And you know what they're talking about. That's emotional intelligence. I've come to realize there's another kind of intelligence. It's called action intelligence. And in action intelligence, there is a destination. Like if you're saying, I need you to be there for me, someone who's action intelligent is going, where? Where do you need me to be? You're emotionally intelligent, and you're getting mad because you're like, I need you to be present for me. And the action-oriented person is going, I don't know what you're fucking talking about. You're not even pointing. Like, what you mean by there? I'm gonna try to keep this as genderless and as like sexual orientationless as possible, because this is essentially, in my world, this is the difference between top and a bottom. Clearly, bottoms are the ones with emotional intelligence. If you're the little spoon in the relationship, odds are emotional intelligence. If you're the top, big spoon, probably action intelligence. Emotional intelligence, it's like the plot of a Downton Abbey episode. If you know what it's talking about, you have emotional intelligence. No fucking clue what's going on? Action intelligence. You've changed the channel. Here's what I want you to learn about this, because there's an outcome. I'm going to walk you through the 6 steps we do in lesson planning. Like, first was knowledge. I told you about the 2. Second was comprehension, right? You're like, Bear, how does this work for me? Okay. If you're action intelligence and you're seeing someone who's emotional intelligence, the 2 of you probably fight often over you not comprehending what being there for them means. And I'm just going to give you a quick tip. Like, just try to listen and pick up on one key phrase they keep repeating fucking over and over and over again. And that's probably what they want you to focus on. And then they want you to be present about. So buy them a present that reflects you fucking listened. And here's how you really can do this. If you really want to be smart about this, like, think about what present you're going to get them and know, like, find whatever that key word is. Like, whenever you're figuring out this is what they're fucking talking about, right? Assign a smell, a candle smell to it. And then take them candle shopping. If you like getting blowjobs, take your emotional intelligence person candle shopping and allow them to pick a candle. And then you get one that's scented with your reminder scent. And then somewhere in your journey, you give them that special gift that shows them you were listening. And every time they light the little candle that you bought with that scent, you apply your new learned action, and they're gonna be like, such a fucking listener. And you're like, I still have no idea what they're talking about. Something about Downton Abbey, no clue. But I smell the candle. If I just do this activity and pretend I care, I get blowjobs. And that's how I survive relationships. I don't know how you survive relationships. Everything I ever learned about a straight relationship, I learned in a comedy club. So all I got is just be there for people and go candle shopping when appropriate. That's it for me. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
There's Chuck. He's dated a great number of men who lived like a candle on their knees. I don't have any emotional intelligence. I'll be honest with you. Just emotions are for wimps. I learned that from my father. Emotions are for wimps. Now stop crying before I give you something to cry about. You know, I know there's a comedy trope, but it becomes a comedy trope because it's true, you know? Like, you're sitting there, you're 7 years old, you're crying because you're hurt. Stop crying before I give you something to cry about. All you want to say is, I have something to cry about. That's why incredible moron. But don't talk like that to your father, especially not when he has a backhand that Bjorn Borg would have been proud of. Bjorn Borg, ladies and gentlemen. Reference to the 80s, reference to tennis. You know, you don't just laugh at an open mic, you learn. It's an educational thing. Hey, you know what, Chuck? We got a couple of things that we need to plug.
We do.
And then we're going to bring on our headliner for the evening, our guest headliner for the evening, who's been waiting patiently while I just pontificate endlessly. Woohoo!
Well, I'm gonna. This is, I believe, 60 seconds of music for you to plug all of our great stuff.
Great.
So here we go.
Okay. So the open mic is every Monday at 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Mountain time, right?
That's Gladys. Use the promo code and you get 10% off. Elevated Connections helps people who've been separated by the child care system, and we support them. And Magic Moments is a special needs friendly theater company that my daughter performs in, and I help to write the shows for every year. It's magnificent, and you'll love it. We got a lot of shows coming up. We have a cornucopia of Thanksgiving jokes coming up very soon. I'm going to guest around Thanksgiving. Then we have, of course, Chuck and His Dreams, and the comedy show. Dear Comics at the Bar is a show that Chuck and a man named Stephen Young do, sampling beers, talking about it. It's on Instagram. You've got to love it.
Bam!
I think we got through everything in record time because we had that little music going on behind it. Usually we talk a little bit more about the things, and I'm not going to do that. Why? Because I don't want to. All right. I could be more caring about people, but such a hassle. Anyways, a lot of the people who, by the way, just as an aside, a lot of the people who start out doing shows on Monday nights and the open mic end up on our showcase show that we do on Sunday nights called The Apocalypse. Get it? Lips, L-I-P-S, because we're talking. There's also, it's a pun is what it is. Anyway, now we have a gentleman who was, I don't remember if he was here or if he was on The Apocalypse last time I saw him, but he's very funny. He's from New York. You're going to love him. I already love him, and I'm not in a creepy way. There's a couple of the acts I love in kind of a creepy way, and I'm not going to, not naming any names. They may or may not come from a foreign country. That's not, I don't know. Not going there. We're not going there. We're going to bring this guy on, and he's going to make you laugh. Please welcome, if you will, from New York, Bruce Lipsky.
Yeah, Bruce.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad we got this portion of the show sponsored by Garrett's Hall, and it's so nice to be at the end of the show. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just turned 65 the other day, and it's amazing. I can't believe it. It's how time's flown. But I looked in the mirror. I feel like an old Buick. My rear end is making funny sounds. My hoses are leaking, and my ball joints have all dried up. I said, oh, I better get Mako. Mako says, oh, you better get Medicare. In my house, it used to be if I had a leak, I'd call a plumber. Now, if I spring a leak, I call my urologist. And he's $50 cheaper. Yeah, I look at the young kids in the crowd. I know Gerry said he's having a birthday coming up. It's Friday night. He goes out to a club. The music goes on. He goes out and bucks the move. I'm afraid to take my wife dancing. I may bust a hip. I swear I'm starting to forget things. My fall mattress has a better memory than I do. And I've gotten an exercise lately, but I've become a late night exerciser, very late at night, between the hours of 2 and 5 in the morning. I'm doing sprints from my bedroom to the bathroom. And I got my time under 6 seconds now. My wife is into exercise. She takes goat yoga. For those of you who've never heard of this is where you lay in a mat, the goat roams around the studio, jumps on your back and licks your ears. Supposedly very therapeutic and relaxing. I said to my wife, wait a second, I tried that last week. You slapped me, threw me out of bed. and now you're paying a goat to do it. She says, well, he's got great technique and fresh breath.
Yeah.
My wife and I just celebrated our anniversary. 30 years of wetted blisters.
Yeah.
That's because all these years she's been rubbing me the wrong way, and I have the calluses to prove it.
Yeah.
And my wife is always, she worked 35 years in Wall Street. She's always in business mode, puts everything on an Excel spreadsheet. I wish she'd excel at putting out and spreading between the sheets.
Oh,
Before I met my wife, I dated a lot of people. I even dated a famous TV weather person. Not Al Roker. The first time we got intimate was like a bad winter forecast. She was predicting blizzard conditions, and all she got was a light dusting. And my wife and I love doing things together. Broadway shows, nice dinners, colonoscopies. And we have perfect colons, and I have the photos to prove it. But every time I show it, I get the same response. What a couple of assholes. And we recently went mattress shopping. I know I like mine soft. She likes hers hard. Like I haven't heard that over the last 30 years. And during this pandemic, my wife has been obsessed with buying on Amazon. We've got so many packages that my front porch has just been rezoned as a loading dock. I got boxes stacked to the roof. I feel like I'm playing a game of Jenga for giants. And I'm constantly running from the front porch to the living room to the second floor. I'm like a delivery monkey for Amazon Primate. And I think she's having an affair with the UPS guy. She goes on and on, constantly about bragging about how big his package is.
Yeah.
I know what it's doing for her, but what's Brown doing for me? And she's into fantasy role play. She has me dress up in brown shorts, construction boots, and carry a clipboard. So anytime I want to have sex, I got to sign for it. This is making my family life miserable.
yeah.
The only smiles in my house now are the ones on the boxes.
Yeah.
She just put the family on a new diet. Called it the tainted lettuce diet. I lost 7 pounds in 2 days. Somebody said, was it from the romaine? I said I couldn't answer that, but once it kicked in, nothing remained in my body for more than 30 seconds. And I feel bad for my wife. You know, she spends 2 hours on the internet looking for recipes. She thinks everybody in the family is a food critic. Then she finds a recipe, she goes shopping and cooks for another 2 hours. And in 10 seconds, my son will say, "You're cooking that shitty chicken again?" When my wife doesn't cook, she makes reservations. But when she does cook, I have the reservations. And then during this pandemic, you know, I actually had the COVID disease about 7 months ago, and I was under quarantine, and sex was out of the question. But to keep the passion alive, my wife cut up one of her Victoria's Secret black lace bras and made masks out of them. Thankfully, she's a double D, or else it would have never fit over my nose. But you should have seen what I did for her with my athletic supporter. Always like to take care of you. You know, and during this pandemic, you know, because everything was out of whack, our food store was delivering to our house. They had a proviso. They said, we can't guarantee you the food that you ordered. We'll make substitutes. I can get a zucchini for an eggplant, rye for whole wheat. But how do you go from Colgate to Preparation H? Even my dog, he went from the science diet to my wife's cooking. He took one sniff, rolled over on his back, and played dead. And I've been trying to teach him that trick for 3 years. And before the pandemic, my wife did all the shopping, which is a total mistake. Never got anything right. I asked for creamy peanut butter. She'd give me chunky style. I asked for regular orange juice. She'd give me orange juice with pulp. I said I need Ben Gay. She brought home Ben the Bad Boy. But when she wanted tartar control toothpaste, I gave her my Preparation H because she's always chewing my ass out. And one final thing, we just got one of those adjustable beds, but I learned not to piss my wife off before bedtime. So she got mad at me. We had this big argument. I went to the bathroom to brush my teeth. I came back out. My side of the bed with the legs and feet were all the way up. It was like a giant taco all folded up. I guess I'm not going to be ringing her taco bell tonight. That's my time. I thank you so much. Appreciate you listening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what? We've got a special guest that I fucked up somehow on the list and stuff. And that was, by the way, that was fantastic. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was preoccupied with other things. So I'm going to talk to George, and can George talk to me? Because I keep trying to text you. Yes?
I'm here.
Okay. We thought it was your mom that was performing tonight because of the and because of going back and forth and stuff, we got behind on putting you on the thing. But I would definitely want you to perform if you're ready to perform.
Sure.
You want to perform.
Awesome.
So this is George Wagner, not Ann Wagner, as I I have a thing that goes off at 4 minutes, and you got a minute left. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
So this is George Wagner. Please welcome.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody. I'm Geo Wagner. George. Basically, I was George. My dad was George, and my mom, who apparently was signed up for this earlier, didn't like the fact that whenever she called George, neither one of us would answer. It's like, oh, I thought you would call. So I had to change to Geo. So, but I'm the father of two daughters, and that's not the dream life. It's what I mean is, it's not the dream I had when I was younger to be surrounded by women. It's not that dream. It is not. I mean, shit, even the cat's a female and it ignores me. But, as a parent, you always have those moments where you see the opportunity to give your child a life lesson. So we're at the table. My oldest daughter is eating her dinner, and she proceeds to start talking while chewing her food. Life lesson moment. Honey, don't talk with food in your mouth. Without missing a beat, she reaches in, takes the food out, and holds it and continues to talk. I can't get mad at her. She did exactly what I told her to do. So, yes, it was a life lesson moment for me. And as a comic, a lot of our material comes from our childhood, from the trauma that is our parents. And my parents were fucking awful. For comedic value, they were nice. They brought me up to be nice. I mean, for Pete's sake, my mother bought me a life insurance policy. But, I think that was so she could say, I brought you into this world. I can take you out. At least I'm making some money on the deal. As a comic, I've found that, it's filled with bald jokes, racial insensitivity, family dysfunction, what I did when I drank too much or smoked weed or took this drug. But I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. Full head of hair, and I'm white. So what the fuck do I have to complain about? Now, when I say I'm white, if the lights went out, they'd put me by the door so you could find your way out.
That's
I walked up to you and I did the fist bump with the explosion. At that moment, it would stop being cool. I was a successful rapper. Yeah, they were lining up to see me. Of course, that involved a table at the mall around Christmas time. I did get the opportunity to see a rap video being made. A friend of mine was a promoter. we arrived around 2 a.m. at this empty warehouse. And I was dressed, dress shirt, dress pants. Artist walks up to my promoter friend and says, "Hey, who's the narc?" Now, think about this for just a moment, though. How bad of a narc would I have to be to come dressed like this? I am getting older, though. And I know this by my mail. ARP keeps sending me crap. And we're not talking normal junk mail. We're talking full color, glossy Cialis-like ads. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much. And then you've got the hearing aid companies. So I can't hear and I can't get it up. Then you've got senior living. So I'm feeble too. Say, guys, I'm not old enough that I need to wear Depends. I'm just lazy. But things have changed so much since I was younger. When I was younger, I could hear my internet connection. And porn has changed so much. When I was younger, it took hours to download porn. And trust me, it was never worth the wait. Now you've got instant streaming, you've got channels, you've got categories, you've got a fucking recommendation list for your porn. But then someone sits down at your computer, and you get that tightness in the pit of your stomach, that fear. It's not that they're going to see your porn history, they're going to fuck up your recommendation list. That is my time. You guys have been a great audience. I had a great time. Thank you very much.
Nice job, George.
It's fun.
If it isn't,
Geo, good job.
it's
Thanks.
not. It's not Ann Wagner, ladies and gentlemen. Give him another round of applause.
I've been called worse.
Well, sure. You were by me in the
Bro,
chat.
I've been called worse.
Yeah. All right. Okay, but you totally get it about parenting. That's for sure. And it's tough.
That was a black joke, by the way, in case anyone didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
As I used to say when I
about the black joke.
when I was running television shows, I used to say the following: I get it. You can just assume that I get it. I'll laugh when it's funny. Okay? And that's the highest compliment I can pay somebody when I bust the balls like that. Well, this has been a delightful show. Unfortunately, one of my favorite comedians was unable to join us. He apparently believes the
time for
camera
Ned Rice, huh?
he believes the camera will steal your soul. So that's about how internet savvy he appears to be, based on what's happened here tonight.
He's a comic and has a soul?
But a lot of my favorite comics are
Apparently,
dead.
he's had his picture taken. So
Yeah.
I had a lovely time, and I thought it was great. There was tonight I can actually do this joke. I couldn't do it last night. I think I could say we had a great time tonight, and all but one of you was wonderful. Last night I couldn't do that joke because one of the guys on the show showed up on acid. He wandered aimlessly around the building asking if what was going on was real. And so
Was it
what's
Sean Connery?
pardon me?
Was it Sean Connery?
No, it wasn't. He's dead.
No, I know that was the joke.
Oh, that was the joke. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I guess I don't always get it.
Boy,
Thanks to
talk.
thanks to David Kaufman for joining us.
Yes,
during
David,
the
thank you
show.
very much. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you'll come back when you can watch the whole show, because some of the people that were on before you arrived all of the people that you were on before you arrived were very funny. Which really narrowed down my all but one of you.
How many Canadians have you
Sorry,
had
my
on the
mom,
show?
and I missed that.
No, I don't know who's talking, but I'm just saying there were a bunch of comedians on before you. Everybody was really funny tonight. I hope you can come back when you can be in the beginning and watch all the genius that I get in the way of every fucking time I do this.
How many Canadians have you had on the show beforehand?
My
two.
family is from Sherbrooke.
No,
but
I'm not.
I'm an American.
I'm not asking accurately, but
Like,
you
We've
know.
had, I think we've had two. We've had two other Canadians on before you.
like Vancouver, Toronto, along those lines.
Toronto,
Just Toronto.
just Toronto. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't even
No,
remember.
I'm just asking, for the show. But yeah, I honestly, thank you for having me on the show tonight.
Oh, you're
welcome.
very
Thank you
welcome.
to everybody
Yeah.
for joining us.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, because I'm a big sports fan. So that's why whenever I encounter Americans, all of my sports teams happen to be, American teams.
Yeah.
Everybody,
that's
I need
why
you to smile for a group photo. If you
Oh,
could,
we're doing.
please.
Yeah, we're gonna do a group photo on. You put your thing on gallery view, everybody.
There you go. And then,
Wait, how do you do that?
Up in the top right hand corner, there is
Yeah.
an icon, and it either says speaker view, or it has just a bunch of dots. And if you hit the one with just a bunch of dots, it goes to.
Oh,
a
more-
silly photo too, Mike. What
Wait.
can you do to make them? What's the silliest thing you can get everybody to do?
Disable video,
No.
like the three dots.
Way up in the right hand corner, there's a thing.
Are you on your phone or on the computer?
Computer.
Okay.
Yeah, then it should be in the top right.
Top right, you will either see something that says speaker view, or you will see something that's like nine little
It looks like a
squares.
Rubik's
A little
cube.
waffle.
Yeah, it looks like a
Yeah,
Rubik's cube.
that's
You
it.
click on the Rubik's cube, and you'll be on the grant and the.
I like what Kurt's doing. Everybody look to the one direction, which the same way Kurt is looking. Everybody just.
I want to see Bronco Brad in his costume, not just his logo. I don't know if Paula needs to get in the picture. Hey, it was Halloween. Maybe we can do a post-Halloween thing, like, let's hide with the chainsaws, like the Geico commercial.
Everybody give the
Just
most
get in the mood.
terrified look that you can.
Do I have to get my chainsaw? Because if I have to,
No, not necessary. In fact, I don't even want to know that you have one, to be honest with you.
Mike,
On the
that was a
count of-
joke.
On the count of three,
Oh,
everybody.
sorry.
On the count of
You
three.
know what, it was-
very-
And it was funny.
I have somewhat of a sadistic sense of humor. Don't mind me.
It's all right, no problem. Let's
On
go
the
with
count of
1, 2, 3, horrified look. All right.
Go ahead, Mike. You count.
1, 2, 3, horrified look. Ah! Got it? Oh,
Yeah, Ed got it.
Ed Smyth looks like Mount Rushmore in there.
Yeah.
We're gonna say goodbye to YouTube. Thanks, YouTube. I hope you had fun.
Thanks.
Yeah.